Martellus joins us now. Martellus, I want to ask you quickly off the top about football. I know you get this question a lot. I have to ask you. With Rob Gronkowski retiring last month, you ever give any consideration to making a comeback?
Nah, man, I just feel like I'm living in my life purpose right now. I felt like I was on autopilot for so long, but what I get to do now is really what I want to do for the rest of my life. And that's super, super exciting to me.
So no draw to like, hey, maybe I could fill that spot, get another Super Bowl ring?
No, I really have no desire for Super Bowl rings. After winning the first one, I realized that it didn't mean what I thought it was going to mean to me. And to see a kid cheer and reaction to the books or the stories that I tell has been way more impactful, way more meaningful to me than seeing someone cheer when I catch a touchdown pass or break a tackle.
Yeah, I hear you on that. And we want to get to the book in a second. One more thing. I know you're outspoken on a lot of NFL issues. And, you know, we've been seeing this thing with Josh Rosen. You know, there was all this talk about him really unfriending the Cardinals on social media. Maybe a lot of people were taking him to task about the way he handled being shipped out of the Cardinals, but at the same time, he seemed to take it on the up and up publicly. What did you think of that whole interaction?
I think it's different. There's not too many people who have the pressure of coming into a place thinking you're going to be there for a long period of time and just waking up one day you're not there, they draft your replacement. There's no such thing as job security in the NFL. And for a lot of guys at the quarterback position, they feel like they should have security because they are the face of franchises. But they realizing that they have to go through a lot of players that other positions go through. Like, you're really just an independent. Every athlete is an entrepreneur, and you're consulting for a position on a team. So they got to understand that it is a business, and you are your business. So it doesn't matter what team you play for, as long as you go out there and do what you got to do and make your money.
Well said. Want to talk about your career. You decided to walk away, and you decided to pursue what you're pursuing now. How hard was that choice?
It wasn't very hard. I mean, it's been calling for me. It's been my calling for a long time. I've been pushing away, and I dove into it when I was playing for the Chicago Bears when I first started my company. But I've been doing a little bit more and more here and there. Then I realized, like, this is what made me ultimately happy in every single way of life. So it wasn't that hard to walk away to do something I thought was going to be what I want to do forever. See, football ends, creativity lasts forever.
It's an interesting point, and your creativity comes out in this book, Dear Black Boy. It's really an incredible book. Why did you decide to write it, and more specifically, why did you want to direct it to kids?
Well, I think it's important that young black boys get to see themselves see value in themselves outside of sports. Right now, in our community, we feel like they roll you a basketball or football and tell you good luck, but really they should understand that all the opportunities in the world are available for them, but they don't really get to see themselves represented in it the way they do in sports. So they could be doctors, they could be directors, they could be illustrators, they could make films, they could do music, but it doesn't have to rap. They could actually score films. And so it's just about empowering them to take control of their future and not listen to what society tells them, which I refer to as the low-hanging fruit in life.
You know, I was reading in the book, you mentioned the game of life is one game they don't think you can win. Who do you mean by they? And tell me more about that.
Like when I think about the black boy, they don't really expect to see us on stages presenting the new technology devices. They don't really expect us to see us in these other fields winning. They don't expect us to see us as CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. Now, in sports, they understand that we can be champions in the sporting leagues. No matter which one it is, we could be Tiger Woods, we could be Michael Jordan, we could be Donovan McNabb. I don't know why I said Donovan McNabb, but yeah, you could be Donovan McNabb. Like, you could win championships on all these levels and these other things, but what about the game of life? The game of life is what these kids are going to have to play, and they'll have to play for in the time, even when their football career ends, and every football career ends, and just because the ball goes flat doesn't mean that your life has to flatline.
Yeah, it's a really great point. I wonder what you think, what will it take, because you're touching on this very important point that sometimes boys, especially young black boys, are looked at through an athletic prism only and not broader than that. What do you think it takes to change that view?
Well, I think it starts as a community, how we see the black boy. We have to celebrate all the geniuses in our community and everything that they have to offer the world. We can't just always celebrate the athletes. We got to celebrate the scholars as well, the doctors, the entrepreneurs. We see drafts. We see kids get drafted. They get the hats and everything, but we don't really get to see all the entrepreneurs that's coming out of colleges, the architects that are graduating that look like us. So how can we put them on the platform so kids can see that they are represented in those categories as well? So for us, it starts with change. I like to lead by not telling them what they could be, but showing them what they could be by making things. And I always say that by following your dreams, you give others permission to follow theirs.